You know what, Skyzoo? I really appreciate you celebrating us. Now, I really don't know what the fuck I did in this situation, but it's all good. I'll take the W. Just let me know where the party's at and I'll bring the chips. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today. We're gonna talk about the brand new album that just fucking dropped from a rapper out of Brooklyn who's been doing his thing for a long time, and now he's back with some new shit. And apparently he's celebrating left and right. I mean, is there really a party or not? Maybe I'm overthinking this shit. I mean, I'll bring the chips. I won't bring the dip though. That's a little too much. I mean, you see how much dip costs these? This motherfucker's back. He dropped the new shit. We're gonna talk about it. Talking about the new album from Skyzoo entitled In Celebration of Us. Now, for those who don't know, Skyzoo is a Brooklyn MC who's been doing this thing for well over a decade, almost two, goddammit, and he's got a lot of dope albums under his belt. I mean, he's got Music from My Friends, which I actually did review when it came out. Also, The Salvation, A Dream Deferred. He also did a collab project with Apollo Brown called The Easy Truth, and overall, Skyzoo is just known for dropping consistent and quality work whenever he comes out with some new shit. So now let's see if In Celebration of Us is an album that we need to be celebrating because it's that fire, or if it's a situation where we need to cut the party short because this celebration was just way too soon because goddamn it, this shit is not good at all. What the fuck? Let's talk about the shit. Now, when I first popped in this album and tuned into the production, I realized that Skyzoo went with his classic sounding New York vibe that he usually does with his albums, the boom bap, East Coast, grimy New York sound. I mean, the dude's from Brooklyn, so that's what he likes and that's what he's known for, and he brings it all up on here, and honestly, that's what fits Skyzoo the best for me. I like it when he's on those New York, just head nodding bangers, and it's all over this place. He's got some nice boom bap feels on here, some nice soul sampling on here, some very good instrumentation done on here, and I think it works out very well for Skyzoo's laid back but very strong flow that he has, and I really just think that these beats on here complement it very, very well. And when it comes to the producers on here, he's got some names on this motherfucker. He's got people who he's worked with before, but they all come through with some fire. He's got Artie Mitchell or Art Mitchell. I think it's Artie Mitchell. I already fucked up the first name. I fucked it up. It's all good though. Illmind, always dope. Apollo Brown, of course. Tuami, Mark Infinite. Skyzoo's doing some production himself. Cardiac's doing some production. And Af Pro or Af Production. I'm fucking up names, but you know I'm trying, y'all. And then Siege Monstrosity. Okay, that's a fucking savage ass name, but Siege Monstrosity, that's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty nice name. But they all come through with production that has that classic New York boom bap vibe, but it does surround itself with some very lush and very layered and nice instrumentation, some good beat switch ups on here, and just some very, very interesting production that really just helps Skyzoo that I really enjoy. But the really great thing that I like about this album is that the fact that Skyzoo really has this cool concept going on where he's pretty much talking about his life in a way, but also just present times of how it is being black and pretty much celebrating black people, but also celebrating his life and how he got to where he is. So it's sort of a duality in this album that I really like because you get little pieces of him talking about how life is in the streets, how it shapes you, how it makes your mentality. But at the same time, he also shows that these things can also shape you to go into a better light or give you better decisions or make you learn from your mistakes or you learn from other people's mistakes and how it just makes you a better person or how it just makes you function in society or where you're at in life. And I think it's really cool how Skyzoo played that off, and it's also very interesting at the beginning and the ending of the album. Like the beginning of the album starts off with this little narrative that goes on where it's talking about some guy who's about to have a kid. He's 20 years old, but he's in the streets. He has decided he's gonna leave the streets and start taking care of his family. And then at the end, Skyzoo tells the story about his parents and how his parents really never was like together. He never even saw them kiss, but he knew they were his parents, and he had to do some like Boys in the Hood shit where he lived with his mom and then he had to go live with his dad and just kind of see how, you know, his dad wanted to keep him out of the streets because in reality, the dude in the beginning of the album who was telling the story is Skyzoo's dad, and it's kind of like a full circle thing, which I think is a really great idea, really great concept, and it came off really well. And those are the two longest fucking songs in the album. The intro is like 8 minutes long and the outro is like 9 minutes long, but it's a reason why they're that long, and I think overall they came out great. Even though I will say, I think the beat on the intro, even though it's cool, I think 8 minutes of that, it went on a little too long, but it is a very necessary intro because it does shape the story and just pretty much sets up what the album is gonna be. But I do think that it could have ran a little bit shorter than that, but it's all good. But for the most part, Skyzoo comes through with a really good set of songs that touches on things like gentrification, police brutality, just life in the streets, and pretty much just how everything can shape an individual or a person, and he just does it in very unique and very dope ways, but keeps it so New York and so hip-hop and so Skyzoo at the same time. And when it comes to features on this album, Skyzoo said said no other rappers are allowed on this shit. I'm the only motherfucking rapper, but I'll take some singing niggas, and he did that. So we got a whole bunch of singing niggas, not a lot, but I mean some ones on here, and they doing their thing. We got Raheem Devon on here. We also got Words and Curves, who actually does a poem on here, and she does a good ass poem, and then after that she wants to smash. I mean, I wish someone did that to me, and she fine too. I'm just saying. And also, we got K Cola, and who else on here? Saba Abraha. I hope I didn't fuck up your name, but you on there doing your thing. And Jake and Papa. And they all come through, and they lend a hook most likely, or just like a little excerpt here and there, but they really do their damn thing, and they really do a good job accentuating the song, but also leaving it to Skyzoo to really be the center focal point with the lyrics and the bars. And I really just think that they did a lot to help the song, and nobody really heard of the song. I mean, it's just a really good set of singing features on here that really just showcase that Skyzoo can hold his own on the lyrical side without having other rappers come in and do what they gotta do. And overall, this is a really solid album that Skyzoo gave us. I mean, there are some songs on here that I didn't enjoy as much. Not saying I didn't enjoy them, I thought they were cool, but there were other songs that were way better in my opinion. The intro I thought could have been a little bit stronger. Also, songs like The Purpose was okay, and Collateral was just cool. I mean, there were some songs in here that I just thought were okay. These are songs that are cool. I can listen to it in the full context of the album if I want to play the whole thing through. But there are other songs on this album that I will go back and listen to 4, 5, 6 more times before I listen to these other ones. But overall, they're still solid tracks and still worth checking out. Now, you know I gotta give you my top 5 tracks, and even though I gotta say that this album is very solid and I can listen to it front to back if I wanted to, there are clearly 5 songs on here that I could say, yo, these are my shit. That automatically, when I heard them, I was like, yo, this is automatically going in the top 5. And they didn't change from the first time I listened to them. So it's Sound Like, Baker's Dozen, Crown Holder, the Stick Up Tape from Menace, and Honor Amongst Thieves. Okay, so let's go back up to the top. So we got Sound Like, which is a really, really dope song. This is actually the second song on the project, and for me personally, this is where I think the album really, really takes off. I mean, like I said, the intro, it's cool. Skyzoo got some great storytelling and lines on there, and it really builds the story and the concept, but I just feel like the energy of the album really picks up when Sound Like comes in. The beat that's produced by Illmind is really just hard-hitting. It's got these nice little chimes and little bells going on in the background with this heavy, heavy bass going on, and it's just a really grimy, just New York head nodder type joint. I just love the vibe of it. Skyzoo comes through talking that street shit with some great wordplay and metaphors. He's got, you can do what you do with your arms if you bear to. They sound like a fist in the arm and a brick in the air too. I mean, he just comes through with just these great lines and this great wordplay that I really just enjoy. That's why I like Skyzoo so much, because he gives you those bars, but he also gives you just some really just good, just like things to really just think about at the same time, and just gives that good perspective. So it's a dope song, really like it. I think the album really picks up at this point for me personally, and it's just a really dope beat. Dope rhymes, Skyzoo's killing it, Illmind's killing it. It just sounds like it's dope, and it is. The next song, Baker's Dozen, featuring Raheem Devon, is probably my second favorite song on this entire album. I love the beat on here by Apollo Brown. It's got this really just dark piano, just like doom 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 doom, and these hard-hitting drums, and it's just really just this like grimy ass New York. It sounds so goddamn New York boom bap, and it's just really just talking about how, you know, you got to go out there, you got to bake the cake, you got to go out there and do what you got to do. It's a street narrative using bakery like fucking metaphors with it. You gotta bake the cake, bake the cake, bake the cake, good a week. That fucking hook by Raheem Devon is so fucking smooth. I love that shit. It really brings the song together. And Skyzoo, again, is just talking that street shit about just how you gotta go out there and get it. You gotta get that cake. You gotta go bake a cake. However it means you gotta do it. You gotta go and do it. And it's just really just dope. And I just love how this came together so well. And honestly, y'all, if I walk into a bakery and they playing this fucking song, I'm buying every single cake in that motherfucker and the pies. The next song, Crown Holder, kind of cheated its way into the top 5, y'all, based off just the beat itself, because it samples Chaos Superstar, which if you've heard that song, that is one of the dopest samples. I love that fucking sample. It's like literally, I can never get tired of hearing that sample or whoever flips that shit, because it's just so damn dope. And the beat on here, flipped by Illmind, is really dope. It's got that notable piano sample in there with some dope, just dirty sounding drums on there, but it just works out so damn well. And it's, again, Skyzoo just keeping with that narrative, that street narrative, how he's ready to hold the crown, how, you know, he's underrated, but he's overpaid at the same time, and that's how he likes to get it going. And it's just really just a dope song. I mean, I just enjoyed it. I love the vibe of it. It's just another New York sounding head nodding joint. Very smooth, nice sample, because, you know, it's got the Chaos joint, and it just really just comes off well. And Skyzoo sounds great on here, and I just love the narrative of in the story that he's telling as well. The next song, the Stick Up Tape for Menace, is a very dope song. First, I like how Skyzoo incorporated the actual Menace Society robbery scene in the beginning of the song. It really shapes the entire song, as well as how he uses it as a metaphor for the song itself, where he's pretty much saying like, you know, you can do what you gotta do, get your shit, and then get the fuck out. Take the evidence, take the tape so you don't get caught doing your dirt, but get your shit going. Because I mean, if you remember in the movie, like, you know, they just went in to get some 40s, and then the people was like, hurry up and buy, and he was like, I'm gonna buy this shit, and then he had to say some smart shit, like, I feel sorry for your mother, and then, you know, old dog was like, what you say about my mama? Next thing you know, old dog kills the motherfucker, and then he kills the girl, and then he takes the tape, and you know you done fucked up, right? You know, you've seen the movie. If you ain't seen Menace Society, like, go watch it. It's a dope-ass movie. It's a classic. But I'm just saying, I love how Skyzoo incorporated that and he just put a twist on it, and he does a really good job on it. And the beat on here is great too. I think it's produced by Av Producer, or Av Production, or whatever. It says on the thing, but he does the beat, and he gives a very cinematic and very dramatic feel to the beat, which helps Skyzoo tell the story so goddamn well, and it just comes off so nice, and it's just a really, really great experience. You feel like you're in Menace Society, or you're watching the movie as the song is playing in a way, and it's just a beautiful fucking song. I really enjoyed it. It really just takes you through those motions, and it just plays off so damn well. So check it out, and then after that, go watch Menace Society, because it's a dope-ass movie too. And the last song is actually the outro of the album, Honor Amongst Thieves, and this is a 9-minute motherfucker, but I love how this outro plays out. First of all, the beat on here, I have to say, is amazing. I love the beat on here. It's so soulful. It's that perfect outro beat. It's just got these really, really great, just live, lush instrumentation to it. But at the same time, it just tells the story of Skyzoo really just, you know, figuring out at the end of it all, like, do you believe in this, or do you believe in that? Do you believe in honor amongst things? He just pretty much uses this tag, do you believe? And he just gives this duality to it, and it just works out so well. But the really great moment is the very end of the song, where he tells this story about this kid growing up, and there's some real boys in the hood type shit, where, like I told you in the beginning of the review, he goes and lives with both of his parents. He starts with his mom, goes to live with his dad, so he can be able to, like, you know, learn what it's like, you know, to be a man from his dad. And his dad doesn't want him to be involved in the gang life and the street life that he was doing. He sends him to a better school, and, you know, he realizes later on why that his dad protected him and kept him away from the streets when he sees some shit go down that he probably wasn't ready for, and he realizes that his pops was just trying to protect him. So it's really, really dope that he gives that narrative and that story at the end, and it really just brings together the entire concept and the entire feel of the album, and it's just a great way to end it. So I love that song. Love the beat on here. I love the storytelling at the end, and I just love how Skyzoo just ties it all together, and it's just, it makes us really, really just put a nice little feather in the cap of a really solid and really dope album. And overall, y'all, Skyzoo, like I said, put together a great project. Not all the songs on here I was in love with, but for the most part, I can enjoy the entire album, and there are songs on here that are absolutely phenomenal, and I think Skyzoo put together one of his best projects. He always drops some solid work, and I think this is going to be one of the best or strongest albums of the year. I don't know if it's going to be in top 15, but it definitely has an honorable mention spot for me. But it might sneak its way up to top 15. You never know. We got a lot of stuff. It just turned February, goddammit, but already we getting some good shit, y'all. Some real good shit. But I'm liking it. So, I mean, hey, Skyzoo, you did your goddamn thing, bro. You did your goddamn thing. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Skyzoo in Celebration of Us is a dope album with great beats, rhymes, and concepts. All I'm saying is that Skyzoo came through with some great production for some great producers. He gave us some good storytelling, some good street narratives, as well as some great food for thought on here. And he's got bars all over this motherfucker. At the same time, he just gives us a lot of personal stories, tells about how his life, gives a good concept that goes from the beginning to the end. And overall, I think Skyzoo just gives a great album that celebrates not only himself, but us as black people, and really just shows how certain situations or certain aspects can shape a person for better or for worse. But you have to just celebrate who we are and what we are in this world in today's society, and I just think Skyzoo does a good job showcasing that. So all I gotta say is that for me, Skyzoo in Celebration of Us just misses it. Just misses the Granddad approved, but I will give it a very highly Granddad recommended. And I feel like I shouldn't, y'all, but I gotta be honest, like some of these songs on here, like I said the ones before, I just didn't vibe with as much as others, and that kind of drew it back just a bit for me. But Skyzoo, you gave us a hot one, bruh, and I really will enjoy this album overall for the rest of the year. I mean, unless you drop some other shit, but you know, keep it consistent, keep it quality, that's what you do, and I'm liking it. But I got nothing more to say. Skyzoo, in Celebration of Us, is very highly Granddad recommended. So go check out the shit right now. Flip it. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Skyzoo in Celebration of Us. If you've heard it, if you have not heard it, definitely check out this album. It is very, very dope. well put together. Skyzoo does his thing as always, and I'm gonna be listening to it for a good while, y'all. I mean, I'm liking what he's got going on, and he's gonna keep dropping that fire. I already know it. Previous videos on the side, as well as my latest single. Check that out, show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, links in the description below. And subscribe, button on the screen, button below. Woolly Reviews twice a week, as well as Let's Talk About the Shit, the gaming videos. Check out the gaming channel, doing some Dragon Ball FighterZ story on there, which is hilarious. As well as on my other shit, CD case studies, Patreon, all that shit's in the description below. Watch all that shit, show your boy some love, and I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddad, Skyzoo, in celebration of us. Skyzoo, we can celebrate this one. It's hot. That's good. I mean, I was scared for a second. I thought I wasn't going to be able to go to the party because I got the good chips. I just went grocery shopping, so I'll bring 2 bags because this shit's fire. I'm out of here.